Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to bring you the 20 best coffee shops in Rayong. I'm at the beach, I've got coffee and I'm in Rayong. Now Rayong is one of those kind of sleepy towns. It's a little bit off the radar. You come out of Bangkok, you come down Chonburi, Pattaya, and it's all built up. It's all got the tourist thing going on. But then Sattahip and into Rayong, it gets quieter, it gets more sleepy. And a lot of people say Rayong is a hidden jewel of Thailand. And it's got absolutely amazing coffee shops where you can come, you can chill, you can enjoy yourself. And I'm going to bring you 20 of the best coffee shops here, the ones you should visit. Now really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the coffee shops that are cool to go, to hang out, to visit. The coffee is going to be okay, the food, the snacks going to be okay. I'm not going to get into that detail. It's all going to be okay. The prices are all going to be reasonable. I'm not going to take you to any of the places that just gouge you out for prices. So all the ones I show you, it's what you would expect when you come to a nice, pleasant coffee shop. So we'll leave all that aside. I'm just going to very quickly hit you up and show you the visuals, the vibe, the atmosphere, right from the beach up into the hills, all around the province, all different atmospheres, all different vibes, all different themes, in no particular order. And we're going to split this into two videos because otherwise it'd be too long, although I'm just giving you a quick burst of each. So this is part one, 10 coffee shops, no particular order. After this, I'll do a part two with another 10 coffee shops, no particular order. Got a lot to get through. Let's crack into this. I've gone the Arctic Circle or Hobbiton or Tatooine or something like that, but these crazy igloo style buildings, that means I'm a happy camper. Now if you've been coming Rayong years, you know the old happy camper by the Klong where you sat there and you fed the fish. It moved and it's come to this completely new futuristic style location on the edge of the city, on kind of the northeast edge. And it is the most Instagrammable coffee shop in Rayong, so I had to show you it. Apart from the igloos, they've got little buildings, they've got covered areas, all kind of very colonial style, loads of opportunities to take photos. And I've gone for green tea, and I don't even know how to describe these, but I come to show you this coffee shop because this is an option. It's on the edge of the town, so a little bit slightly out from the city centre, but very Instagrammable, probably the best backdrops in any coffee shop in Rayong. It's a hot day, so I'm going to keep moving, but the igloos are actually air conditioned. Next up, we have a vintage coffee shop. It's called Seven Teak. It's a number 7 and then TIQUE on the end, a play on antique. And like with all these things, drop down in the description, I'll throw you in the location. And this is actually in Rayong town. It's right on the very edge. And this is kind of the antique style coffee shop that is so popular now. But actually this one has been around for many years. I've been coming to Rayong for maybe 10, 12 years. And I'd say it's probably around when I first came. So in effect, this was ahead of the curve. And it is decorated all through with posters, with signs, with old antique things, with old junk. There's even scooters, there's a car, an MG in a little garage. There's all sorts of things you'd expect in an old antique style coffee shop. The buildings are all wooden style. You can see with these wooden tables, all these trees around me and things like that. The whole coffee shop is kind of set into a jungle vibe. So you've got trees and plants and bushes growing into it and all the wooden buildings. So it adds a really 100% authentic feel of old wooden buildings in a jungle. So you've really got that pure, authentic vibe going on here. So we start at the main entrance with these classic Thai figures. Then we walk through these real cool wooden doors with these old slat style, cross a little bridge across a water feature, and the whole central pathway right up the place is on a raised wooden deck. You can see on the left, this wooden building is a reception area where you buy your food and your drinks, and it's all air conditioned. You can see the back of an American car, big snowman, all sorts of things going on either side. Here we've got like a shop counter. It looks actually like an old jewelry shop, a gold shop. And then we take a detour over here. We've got another seated area, and you can see it's all made out of old vintage things, and the walls there, in fact, it looks like old houses. Everything is old vintage style, so you sit anywhere and you got a good photo. Let's get back down, walk down the middle, and we're back on this raised path all the way through, and you can see what I was saying before, there's plants and everything all the way around. Well, then we get to a big seating area at the back, and we've got another pond, got an alligator sitting on there, and then behind we've got an old Mini, and I love this whole vibe of like, it feels like you're right in the middle of the jungle. This is kind of a bit different. We are bang in the middle of nowhere. We're about 35 kilometers east of Rayong. And again, like everything else in this video, I'll drop the details into the description so you can home in on all the information. But this one is a little bit different. It's a farm. It's called Oabb Cafe and Farm, and it's like a working farm. It's really tranquil. It's kind of a farm, cafe, stroke art space, which we'll get to in a minute. Anyway, like I said, we're in the middle of nowhere, but we've got a lot here, a lot to take photos of, a lot to do here, a lot to look at. And you can see starting off here, the coffee shop is an open building here, an open wooden building, but they also have an aircon room just behind, which I'll show you as well. And because it's like a farm, you've got a lot of animals here. You've got things like chickens, got peacocks, got Oabb, you've got kwai, which you don't see around here very often. And a lot of details. Again, like a lot of these coffee shops, we've got these wooden walkways, got a bridge that I was standing on before. There's like a lagoon just behind the camera. It's a really nice place. It's been really nicely styled, really art style. And I'm going to show you some of the art as well. Really relaxing, real vibe that's peaceful here. And not too far to get to. It's just when you're following for the location, you are going to get to somewhere, because when you're driving up the road, it really feels like you're disappearing into nowhere. So let's have a quick look around this one. This farm has a huge maze of chicken runs, a gigantic circular chicken run with a big house coming out on either end. I'm standing in the middle of this metal structure. This is an art installation. So for me, although the vibe of this place is sitting outside, finding some shade, of course, it's not for everyone. And they have a big aircon room, and we've got these buffalo horns as handles, these big wooden doors. So let's have a look inside here. And in here, we've got a whole art space going on. You can see all the art on the walls, all the art around, and the way the wall is made of wood, and again, the roof as well. Finally, there is a roof deck. So let's go up there and give you the 360 view from on top and get the whole feel for how big and how spread out this place is, and how it sits in a valley with the hills all around. So from on top, we can see the artwork. We can see that tiny little caravan we saw before, the chicken runs, all the nettings over the chicken runs and the plants. You can see the hen house. Can see the lagoon with that red soil banks, which you get around here. It's all red soil around here. Then you can see all the walkways and the coffee shop. The toilets are completely covered in a plant. And what's useful here as well, the parking space is covered so your car doesn't get hot. But what I have noticed, it's covered with solar panels. I'd missed that completely. And I've also missed this artwork, which seems to be stuck in the middle of a load of plants where you wouldn't even see it. So the last thing, I'm just going to nip over and have a look at that. Finally, I need to go and explore and find this strange looking artwork that's right in the middle of all these plants. They're not easy to walk through. And here we are. And man, I have no idea the significance of that. All these are things to do with the kitchen, to do with cooking. And it made them into like plants. That is really cool. I've never seen anything like that before. And why? It is in the middle of nowhere where you can't see it. From the cafe, I have no idea. For the next coffee shop, I'm giving you a mountain feel, a jungle feel, a feel of the hills and the countryside. I'm a bake and more. And I have come around about 50 kilometers out of Rayong. I've headed up eastwards on the Rayong Chantaburi Road, and then I have turned left and I'm in the foothills of the mountains, kind of heading for North Rayong. I wanted to show you this coffee shop because, like I said before, this has kind of got the mountain, the jungle vibe, and it's a really big place. There's a lot to do, a lot of photos to be taken here, and we'll start outside because they put in all these walkways that feel like they're going through mangrove swamps in the jungle, and they intersect. And then there's a lot of seating areas with all different styles, so you can sit at one table and chairs, take photos. You can move to the next and you've got a different vibe. Right at the bottom end, you've got a lake, kind of man-made lake with a fountain. There's fish food, so you can feed the fish. There's big fish and there's little fish. And it looks like maybe at the right time of year, it has that style where you can sit on a table and chair in the water and take those kind of photos. So a lot going on outside here, a lot of styles. Then we have the main building where you order your food, where they have the kitchens, the toilets, all that sort of thing. That's aircon. There's plenty of tables and chairs so you can sit in there. Behind that, they've got more areas where you've kind of got an all wood feel. You've also got the cushions on the floor so you can have the seated feel, traditional style. And then they also have this behind me, this standalone aircon room, which has got a vintage vibe going on inside. And in one corner, they put a big cast iron bath, old vintage style, so you can take photos with that. And around the place, there's kind of a few vintage objects like old TVs, old finger dial telephones. So you've got all the backdrops. And there is also a pool table, which is free as well. So that's kind of cool. And this place, it's lit up quite well. So at night also, it's not just a coffee shop. In the day, although I'm making this video bringing you the daytime vibes for coffee shops, this goes right through to the nighttime. They've got a lot of food, so you can also come and hang out here at night. So this is quite cool. It's a decent trek out of Rayong. Like I say, it's 53 kilometers from the town centre when I whacked it into GPS. So that's just under an hour's drive, but it's a quick, easy drive here. The roads are fairly quiet. Loads of parking. I mean, loads of space here completely, loads of different styles, and that real authentic kind of jungle mountain vibe, because we are right in the foothills of the mountains. Somewhere in Klang, that is absolutely kind of bang on, because we really are somewhere in Klang. And here in this section, they have a coffee market from time to time. They've got advertising posters around, so you can see they've kind of got tables, they got booths, they got seating areas here. So from time to time, they have coffee markets here. So maybe if you're coming here, you want to check their Facebook page and see if you can overlap with that. And I like these wooden walkways. They're in pretty good condition. Gives a nice vibe, and it gives that real vibe that you're walking through the mangrove swamp or something like that. So on from here to the next place. For my next coffee shop, I have come up to the Rayong bypass and to the Cafe Amazon. Before we go any further, I'm just going to say Amazon is how it's pronounced in Thailand. So I'm going to get you used to that if you're not in Thailand, because if you ask for the Amazon, people are going to have no idea what you're talking about. Now, it's cheap, basic, functional coffee. You get these everywhere. It's like the McDonald's coffee shop in Thailand. Absolutely everywhere. Cheap, cheerful, does what it says on the tin. And the next question you're going to say is, why would I come to Rayong and go to an Amazon when you can get them in every town, every filling station, everywhere you are in Thailand? I'm going to show you why. Let's take a walk over here. As you can see, this is not your average Amazon. They have built it out like a tropical rainforest, really like the Amazon would be. All these brightly coloured looking tropical plants, all that steam rising on the water, the waterfalls, the little rivers, really does feel like you're in a tropical rainforest here. It's been really beautifully done with a big garden next to the shop, and the shop itself has been really nicely done. So if you want aircon, you've also got a nice ambience inside. Outside, they have put a lot of work into this, into doing this up and making somewhere beautiful to stop and have your coffee and whack off photos. And you can take a lot of photos here because they changed the style around. And you can also go upstairs onto a small viewing platform, which I'm going to take you up now. I'm burning here in the heat, but up we go. So you've got loads of photo opportunities. And just to get you right in the picture, where we are on the bypass, it's right opposite Thai Wat Sadu, which is always a huge landmark. So this shop, you're not going to get the best coffee here. It's going to be functional. I ordered hot cappuccino. It's hot. It's just about cappuccino. But you get a great environment and a great ambience to drink your coffee. And a lot of features. And right here, we have a little tunnel as well. So you're just loaded up with the photo opportunities in this place. I'm actually really amazed, pardon the pun, to find an Amazon like this. And here we have like a wooden walkway you'd expect to find raised through a swamp, something like that, with the jungle plants on either side. So that's it. Another one to add to your list. Mae Rampung Beach is the big beach in Rayong, 8 or 9 kilometers long. It's just out to the east of the town, kind of midway through the province. And this is where you come if you want to do the sitting on the beach kind of holiday, the Ibiza, the Spain, the Blackpool, that kind of style where you have your hotel there and your beach there, and you stay in your hotel, you walk down the beach, you go back to your hotel. So an 8 or 9 kilometer beach means you have an 8 or 9 kilometer road running straight along it, and that means you've got an awful lot of vendors popping up to sell stuff every day. So you get loads of pop-up coffee shops and cafes, and this one here, it's called Guitar Cafe. You can see it kind of does a mix of Thai and Western food, because there's going to be foreign holiday makers from all around the world. We'll just have a quick look on their menu, and you can see every drink you could possibly want. Quick snacks, more drinks down here, man. They've got the bases absolutely covered completely, and it's bright pink. It's called Guitar Coffee. It's all in Thai though, so like with everything else on this video, I'll drop a link in the description. But to be honest, although I am showing you this coffee shop, you don't really need to drop into this one, Guitar Coffee. I'm just kind of more using that as an example, although the coffee here is pretty good. There's loads all the way up and down. Next up, I'm going to show you a pucker coffee shop, all built up and ornate on this beach on the other side of the road. And then I'm going to take you to a pizza shop on the beach, and that I recommend. Mae Rampung Beach is the longest beach in Rayong province. The road up it is a big straight line down the beach. I need to bring you at least one cafe from this road, and I am bringing you this. Laa-Myth, kind of towards the western end of the beach, and it sits all by itself. There actually aren't a lot of coffee shops on the beach. It's kind of a traditional beach, traditional sellers here, but this one is new. It kind of sits on its own. It's got a very distinct styling. It's almost like a square shape, and you can see it's got what look like porthole style windows. The ground floor is all aircon. The second floor up is open, and it's very airy. The sea breezes run through, so you've got the option of either. But to be honest, I'd head straight for the aircon, because when I'm making this video, middle of summer, it's 40 plus degrees, and they're actually extending the building. They're doing more building works, but it's quite nice. It's quite well laid out. They've got a lot of ornamentation, things like that. Great for photos and great for just chilling right opposite the beach. Next up is Pada Cafe. This is a really nice, kind of fashionable style coffee shop built around a man-made lagoon, and it's got all sorts of features like wooden walkways, seating all around the lagoon, waterfalls, goldfish in the water. It's got aircon rooms as well. They basically just do drinks like coffee, and they do cakes. There's no food here. But the interesting thing with this coffee shop is it's quite spacious, but it's only about 7 or 8 kilometers from Rayong city centre. So it's really, really quick to get to. You just head east on the road to Chantaburi, and literally 4 or 5 kilometers out of the city, you just hang a right and you head down a couple of deep soys and you're here. So it's really quick, convenient to get to from Rayong. And it's an older one. It looks like it's one of these brand new style coffee shops built around a lagoon with a lot of features, but it's actually quite older. It's fairly peaceful and not too busy. What I like about this coffee shop is all these seating areas jutting out into the lagoon. So you can sit here, you can watch the fish swim, you've got the waterfall, and you've got a very relaxing ambience. This time I have come over to the east of the province, and I'm at Peace Home Cafe, and this is also a very ornately, very beautifully Japanese themed coffee shop in Rayong province. And I'm sitting in a bus stop again, and I just watch my head because this bus stop is a little bit lower, but you can see all the decoration, very similar style with the Japanese writing, the zebra crossing, all the markings here, and you can see the scooter, you can see the tricycle, Japanese baskets on the back, Japanese signs up on this coffee shop, the Japanese roadwork sign. Couldn't be without that. More zebra crossings, more markings, and this one has been done in a very kind of beautiful traditional Japanese style. And just in case you missed it, Peace Cafe. Here we have the post office board, and I am ducking around here. We'll go in a second, but first of all I'm going to take you around the outside. We've got these seating outside here, the old telephone, can't bring your own food and drink. I can tell that without speaking Japanese. And we have another seating area for taking photos here, again all beautifully decorated out. And right here we have the empty beer bottle crates waiting to be picked up, and they have Japanese beer bottles in them, man. How cool is that? This whole place has been really nicely done. I've got to duck those lanterns. There's a bonsai, man, absolutely bang on. And I like this one because it's got a lot of the traditional feel to it. And we go inside and take a look. The whole coffee shop has been beautifully done. You can see the Japanese style posters here and all the decor all around. We've got a door out to the bus stop where I was before, and you can see up here more Japanese paraphernalia, Japanese pictures. And this, I like this. We've got this water feature steaming away. That kills a lot of birds with one stone. Water features in Thailand and Japanese style. Again, everything is beautifully done. You can see the Japanese roof style done here, and over the coffee shop entrance. Got the old payphone here, a board there. Christmas tree, you always get those here. And again, a lot going on. And you can see they do a mix of Thai and Japanese foods. So I'm going to order Peace Cafe. We're getting to the end of my video now, and I'm back at Maerumpong Beach. You can see it behind. The light is fading now, the wind is whipping up, and the sea is looking stormy. It's a real typical evening here. And I'm bringing you one more food. And this time I'm bringing you what you wouldn't expect to find on the beach, pizza. And we have a complete pop-up booth here selling pizza. Man, I couldn't miss out on that, and I couldn't miss out bringing you that as well. And you can see from the menu, it's getting a bit windy, so I kind of got to hold it like that. All the favourites. I'll zoom you in. Anyway, I need to bring you that. And with that, I am done from Maerumpong Beach. And this seller is right at the east end of the beach, right the way along, just a few hundred metres before you get to the turn. So that's the location. You just come up to this end of Maerumpong Beach and look for Yummay Pizza and a big pizza sign there. And you sorted for a favourite. We've come to the end of my video, and I'm finishing it off on the beach at sunset with a pizza. I wasn't expecting that to bookend my video, but it turned out that way. So I brought you 10 coffee shops you should visit in Rayong. If you got this far, I hope you liked my video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button for me, and I'll bring you 10 more coming up in part 2. So please subscribe, and I'll see you for another 10 very shortly. But for this one, thank you for watching. Over and out.